Morning. If you're out there, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Besides the normal existential angst that we all seem to be experiencing, at least if you've got two brain cells to run together. No, I don't know. Modern life. How you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. If you're returning, my name's Brian, as you can see right there. And I'm a poet. And on this channel, we do poetry and sometimes mine, but most of the time, especially on this show, we feature the poetry of people long removed from this life, but they've left behind a piece of them, which is what most of us can just hope for. But here we celebrate them, and we celebrate them in music. How do we do that? Because I'm not a musician. I'm a drummer. It's really hard for me to make music to that stuff. Well, I use the tools available. AI. Yes. Computers. It's all on how you use them. So, here we go. We're taking some poetry from old dead farts. Hey, Irish, how's it going? How are you doing this afternoon? And we take it and we plug it into the Suno AI music generator thingy, and it spits out a couple tracks, and we compare and contrast. And I guess I got a good show for you today. I don't know, because I don't hear it until you hear it. So we're going to have to figure it out on our own. Yesterday's was a friggin' great one. Too bad nobody and hopefully today's will be that, or it'll be a stinker or somewhere in between. So if you like stuff like this, like and subscribe. We're still at 449. But more importantly, everything we do here is fair use and all that stuff in the public domain. So yeah. How you doing? So what's going on today? What do we got going on today besides all the crap that's going on in the world? We got this. Yeah. So let me share the screen and I'll show you what we're going over today. Today's selections are Fairyland 3, William Shakespeare. I think there's two more in this little series, so we'll do two more. And then we got Emily Dickinson coming back. A fuzzy fellow without feet. Hopefully it'll be whimsical. I don't know. That or headbanging metal, I think. Oh, and then this guy we've had before, AK, I can't pronounce it. It's too early in the morning. The Black Hen. Yeah, the last time we had this was pretty good. Then we got CD by AP Herbert. This is about World War II. I think it's World War II. Although it says 044 there. 044. It was just the right length and everything. So I was like, all right. And then we're going with Shelley today. A Shelley one, Homer's Hymn to Minerva. And rounding things out, Oscar Wilde, Grease. So we're rounding things out on a Grecian turn or something like that. Oh, right. What do you think? I'm going to start off with this here, so let me stop sharing there. And then get on here. Let's see how this goes there. Got to get to the right folder. Right there. All right, Fairyland number 1. All right, so this one's like 3 minutes long. The second one's only like a little under 2. Only a couple 4-minuters. So let's see what we got for today. We got 3 4-minuters or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. Here we go.
Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands. Courtship when you have the wild waves whisk.
Footed featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burthen bear. Hark, hark, bow wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow wow, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry, cock-a-diddle-dow. Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands. Courted when you have and kissed the wild waves whist. Footed featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burthen bear. Hark, hark, bow wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow wow, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry cock-a-diddle-dow. Bow wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow wow, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Diddle-dow.
Know that. Well, that was interesting sounding. So, do you think Shakes would have liked that one? I don't know. Oh, sometimes being a history buff and all that stuff. Sometimes I wonder what people back then would think about what we're doing now. They'd be like, "These people are nuts." I'm glad I live here. No, I'm glad I don't live back that way. Back then, I like indoor plumbing. All right, and medicine, and antibiotics, and vaccines, and the scientific method. All right, Fairyland 3 version 2. This one's only 1 minute and 53 seconds.
Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands. Courtship when you have and kissed the wild waves whist. Footed featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burthen bear. Hark, hark, bow wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry cock-a-diddle-dow. yellow sands, and then take hands. Bloodshed when you haven't kissed, the wild waves whiz. Put it featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burthen bear. Hark, hark, bow, wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow, 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 hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry, cock-a-diddle-dong.
Oh! Oh! That was freaking hilarious. Oh my Lord. Oh Lord. That was freaking great. Xenu Marlene to that one. Wow. I don't know. Number 1 was cool, but 2 is just freaking great on a whole different level. Oh, it got the operatic. It really got the operatic feel of it down really pat. That was great. You can see that at people, some dude singing it on a freaking stage. I love it. Ah, yeah, that was great. Oh Lord. See, we like standout stuff here. It was like, oh, I don't know. Let's see what do we got here? Oh, Emily Dickinson. Yes, we haven't done Emily Dickinson in a while. A fuzzy fellow without feet. Okay. I don't know whether to be scared or not.
A fuzzy fellow without feet, yet doth exceeding run. Of velvet is his countenance, and his complexion done. Sometime he dwelleth in the grass, sometime upon a bough, from which he doth descend in plush upon the passer-by. All this in summer, but when winds alarm the forest folk, he taketh damask residence, and struts in sewing silk. Then finer than a lady emerges in the spring, a feather on each shoulder, you'd scarce recognize him. By many a cleft caterpillar, by me, but who am I to tell the pretty secret of the butterfly?
wow, that little laugh at the end was kind of creepy. Cool. Yeah, probably. I know I probably would if they were doing something with my stuff like 150, 200 years from now. Oh, so yeah, there. If you look at that, it really doesn't have too much of a analysis on it. Just talking about the imagery. Fun. I don't know if that was fun and whimsical. No, that wasn't fun and whimsical. It was more dramatic. No, good solo though. So how y'all guys been doing? Y'all figure that out, and I'll play the next one.
A fuzzy fellow without feet, yet doth exceeding run. Of velvet is his countenance, and his complexion done. Sometime he dwelleth in the grass, sometime upon a bough, from which he doth descend in plush upon the passer-by. All this in summer, but when winds alarm the forest folk, he taketh damask residence and struts in sewing silk. Then finer than a lady emerges in the spring, a feather on each shoulder, you'd scarce recognize him. By men you clept caterpillar, by me, but who am I to tell the pretty secret of the butterfly? Sometime he dwelleth in the grass, sometime upon a bough, from which he doth descend in blush upon the passer-by. All this in summer, but when winds alarm the forest folk, he taketh damask residence and strut in sewing silk. Then finer than a lady emerges in the spring, a feather on each shoulder, you'd scarce recognize him. By men yclept caterpillar, by me, but who am I to tell the pretty secret of the butterfly?
I don't know about those two. Reggae, maybe jazz. Don't know. What do you think? Seems like this is going to be an interesting show today. So let's just go ahead here. Play the next one. And I'm going to see what my dog wants. Hey there. Just make sure. All right. Here we go. This is this one.
not at all, yet it comes sometimes as the black hen with the red round eye. On the embroidery, stitch by stitch, dropped and found again. And when it's all there, the black hen stares with its round red eye, and you're afraid. And when it's all there, the black hen stares with its round red eye, and you're afraid.
Now that was freaking cool. I don't know about you, but I like that. Seems we've been having a mixed bag today. Late one, yeah. Well, yeah, you're like, I know you're like somewhere between 13 and 15 hours ahead of us. So it's like, I know it's almost 7 a.m. here. Yeah. It's still pretty cool. I have to do a cover of that one. We need to see what number. Let's see what number 2 has in store for us. All right. Let's see here. And it's the exact same length. I know it's a different tune because it's freaking 2 different size files. So let's see.
It must come as leaves to a tree, or not at all. Yet it comes sometimes as the black hen with the red round eye. On the embroidery, stitch by stitch, dropped and found again. And when it's all there, the black hen stares with its round red eye, and you're afraid. It must come its round red eye. And you're afraid.
Ooh. Now on that one, I was like, at first it was like, huh? And then it was like, got better and better and better. Yeah, so I was right. You're 15 hours ahead of us. Good to know now. I like, you know me, I like to get the time zones right, you know. So we got joining us today this morning. Hey, how's it going, Matthew? How's it going, Matt? The Holy Rogue. I'm saying hi. Hi, Mama Joe. Hi, Mama Joe. And yes, I got the coffee. I usually get a biscuit, you know, but they didn't have them at the store, so I had to come home and make myself a toast. Just a one piece of toasted and strawberry jam. Really good homemade strawberry jam that I get at the farmer's market that's down the road from me. Good morning, Tiff. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? We need to do a panel. I don't know. Sometimes we need to do. I think we need to do a panel. You need to host a panel. I don't know. Oh, I'm just too silly this morning. Okay. Yeah, damn time zones. Hey, that's my shtick, you know. That's one of the things I was known for early on in everything. And doing this was getting everybody's time zone right. You know, it's the little things, you know, that not only make you stand out, but they might make someone's day. You knowing that, you know, it's their afternoon and not your morning. Oh, on your second coffee. Well, you set it up. I'm free this evening. You set it up and let me know. I'm free most Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah. All right. So what do you think of the first half of that was freaking, that's going to be hard to freaking. Okay, when you go chicken nuggets, I'm thinking like McDonald's, and then we go here, filled with cheese with a lingonberry dip sauce from lunch at Irish's. Well, that's what I like. That's what I like about this. What we're doing here, because you know, like old Forrest Gump said, you know, life's a box of chocolates, or his mom said, or in this case, if we think of Maya, you know, a bag of twists. You never know what you're going to get, and this is a good way, you know, a good thing, you know. But yeah. All right. We are on to the second part of the show. Cool. Lingonberry. It's like a berry. I'm assuming it's something like a blueberry or strawberry. A berry. Some type of fruit that contains a seed or something or other. I don't know. It's too early in the morning. I actually did get a halfway decent sleep last night. I was only up like a couple times instead of half a dozen. Oh, old person bladder. All right, so we are on to AP Herbert. Oh, this one is simply CD. This is was written in 1944, so it's probably about war. Here we go.
Thank you, soldiers of the streets, never budging, never be. so fierce and fast. Ambulances through the blast. You with stretchers, you with cranes, tireless in the grim remains. Heroes while the blitz is on, less considered when it's gone. You have waited year by year, done your job and let them jeer. Now the story shows you right. You were ready on the night. Not so young and undermanned, faithful in the breach you stand. Never budging, never be. Thank you, soldiers of the street. Of the street. Thank you, soldiers of the street.
Oh, yeah. I'm usually boring with my bagels. They got some really good the plain ones they sell down at the local Dollar General, the local DG. Are pretty good. They're the Wonder Bagels. You just slather them with, toast them up, slather them with cream cheese. But my favorite are blueberries. At least at the ones we can get at the local stores. The other ones are like, eh. What did you think of that? Yes, coffee. Cool. I like a good stir fry. I have not had any Asian food for what we can get around here. And there's a place near here that opened up not too long ago, and I've been wanting to go to it. And someone I go out with every once in a while, hang out with every once in a while, was maybe wanting to go with. I don't know about that situation. Anyways, I might go there today. I don't know. Prawns. Oh yeah. I didn't read that one. That's just, I find that so hilarious right now. Oh, Lord. Oh, honey chicken and rice. Cool, chicken and rice. Yeah, you do enough for her, don't you? Oh, yeah. The only time I've been in New York City, I went there Fleet Week of 2007. I did not have as good a time there as a lot of sailors. I don't know. I think I only got one drink bought. You hear just they lavish you with drinks and all that stuff. Although, granted, I did have tickets to the Blue Man Group, and when me and my buddy, I'd spent like $100 on them. for me and a friend of mine. Me and my buddy were walking down the street, and this one guy, you could tell he was Italian because we were in Lower Manhattan, and or wherever it was, and he was like, "Come on, man, come in." I was like, "Man, sorry, I have Blue Man Group tickets." So yeah, they're there, but so yeah, I'll have to get that story straight. But yeah, the experience I had earlier in the restaurant sucked. Because the guy I went out with, Dwayne Swaggart, really cool guy, big nerd, just like me. Friend of his lived in Lower Manhattan, so we met him, and we went to this restaurant. And of course, when you're out in the Fleet Week, you have to be out in your uniform. And it was whites. But you guys got a great public transit system. I could have run really well once I learned to navigate it. So we were at this restaurant, and we sat down and ordered. I ordered a whiskey on the rocks Irish, and we ordered an appetizer, and then we got ignored. The table beside us was being served and stuff, and we got ignored. Finally got our drinks and our appetizers, and it was getting close. We'd been there for a while. I'm like, what the fuck? I got tickets to Blue Man Group. Screw you guys, I'm leaving. I was like, can I see the manager? And I said, listen here, I come here Fleet Week. I've always heard that people treat us sailors well. My experience here sucked. Fuck you, I ain't paying for it. And we left. Yeah, I saw Blue Man Group off Broadway. I've seen them twice. Saw them in Boston in 2012 when I went there. That was my last little thingy. My last hurrah in the Navy was Boston 2012 at over freaking St. Patty's Day weekend. And it was my birthday too. So yeah, I had an okay time. Went to a cigar bar. And I got to roam Boston by myself, so. All right, where were we? Enough of the sea stories at the moment. Yeah, well, I wasn't a good-looking man in uniform. Here we go, number 2.
Thank you, soldiers of the street, never budging, never beat. You who steer so fierce and fast, ambulances through the blast. You with stretchers, you with cranes, tireless in the grim remains. Heroes while the blitz is on, less considered when it's gone. You have waited year by year, done your job and let them jeer. Now the story shows you right. You were ready on the night, not so young and undermanned, faithful in the breach you stand, never budging, never beat. Thank you, soldiers of the street, never budging, never beat. Thank you, soldiers of the street. right. You were ready on the night, not so young and undermanned, faithful in the breach you stand, never budging, never beat. Thank you, soldiers of the street, never budging, never beat. Thank you, soldiers of the street, never budging, never beat. Thank you, soldiers of the street.
By the way, good morning. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, that does sound yummy, Fila. Rump strips. Oh boy. Cool at the local Shakespeare Theater. You wouldn't know say, but they've actually been the there's been like the stuff going on at UCA now is a lot different than it was. A lot different. Yeah, that one would be something for some type of movie like that. So I like both of them, but I like number one better. So, I almost forgot what was about here when I was, you know, waxing eloquent about my Navy days. But yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff. Like they having a lot of shows. Like they had Gin Blossoms and the Spin Doctors the other day. I didn't go to it because I don't want to go to that stuff by myself. I did enough of that stuff in my 20s and stuff. Like there's down in Little Rock chamber orchestras and all kinds of other stuff that's relatively cheap. But again, at my age, going into that shit, doing that stuff by myself seems to be sad. Oh well, I guess it just might be just the mood I'm in right now. Cool. I'm glad we're in agreement. Oh, but yeah, let's see what's going on today. Oh yeah, the writing club is meeting today, so I have a meeting at 1:30, 1:40, something like that. So yeah, I'd like to do it again, but back then I got to ride the freaking subway for free. I got to do public transit for free because I was walking around in a uniform. I have yet to watch the new season of Daredevil Born Again, or however. Same here. I was really wanting to go see him too, but I got busy too with homework and stuff. I'm assuming you're talking about the newest season. The movie sucked. Great soundtrack. Great soundtrack. Just bad writing. Mm-hmm. and you ladies call us dudes bad. We're just people. Let's see here. All right, where were we? Okay. Ooh, Shelly, we're getting into the Grecian part of the show. All right. Homer's hymn, and we're not talking about Homer Simpson, to Minerva. Minerva is one of my favorite characters in and there's this set of books by Robert Heinlein. It's his future history stuff. And Minerva's a character, and several of them as a sentient computer who wants to be human. And she eventually gets her wish. They're very interesting books to read. All right, here we go.
I sing the glorious power with azure eyes. Athenian palace, tameless, caste, and wise. Try to genie a town preserving maid. Revered and mighty from his awful head, whom Jove brought forth in warlike armor dressed, golden, all radiant, wonder strange possessed, the everlasting gods that shape to see, shaking a javelin keen impetuously, rush from the crest of ages bearing Jove. Fearfully heaven was shaken and did move beneath the might of the cerulean eye. Earth dreadfully resounded far and wide, and lifted from its depths the sea swelled high. In purple billows the tide suddenly stood still and great Hyperion sun long time checked his swift steeds till where she stood sublime. Palace from her immortal shoulders through the arms divine, wise Jove rejoiced to view, child of the ages bearer, hail to thee, nor thine nor others' praise shall unremembered be. No doubt were formed in warlike armor dressed, golden, golden all radiant, wonder strange possessed, the everlasting gods that shape to see, shaking a javelin keen impetuously. Rush of the ages bearer, hail to thee, nor thine nor others' praise shall unremembered be.
Wait, that was pretty freaking cool. Let's see here. Okay, so let's start here. The first episode, the first 5 minutes of Bull's Out, See, because I never watched season 3 of the original run on Netflix. Although I did watch the first 2, and then how they were trying to weave all those shows into it. Honestly, there for a while, I was a little superhero fatigue. But yeah. But I agree with you here. I remember Wonder Woman when I was little. Linda Carter, one of my early childhood crushes. And then I remember the Incredible Hulk and all that stuff. And the original little Spider-Man. They had that live-action Spider-Man show. Well, all right. Yeah. It's all part of the inherent hypocrisy. Ugh. That is involved with being human. And then you got me. I'm a nice guy. And you know what they say about nice guys? It's all true. So let's listen to number 2. Maybe it's just as cool as number 1.
Sing the glorious power with that you rise. Athenian palace, tameless, chaste, and wise. Tritogenia town, preserving maid, revered and mighty from his awful head. Jove brought forth in warlike armor dressed, golden all radiant, wonder strange possessed. The everlasting gods that shape to see, shaking a javelin keen, impetuously.
friggin' cool. Definite ex-girlfriend material. We'll run that one through 4.5, but I like both of those. What do you think? You'll be 65 in December. Cool. Young. That's how I feel in my classes. I'm the oldest person in all my classes. I think the two ones younger than me or closest to me are my history professor, Dr. Scribner, and one of the ladies in, young girl, lady, whatever, in my poetry class. I think she's like in her late 30s, early 40s, something like that. But that was cool. Oh boy, I bet you it was either you had great Christmases or you had bad birthdays. The 12th. There's a bunch of 12 days of Christmas jokes there that I just can't think of at the moment. You know, I was thinking about all those cartoons that we watched growing up. They had those lessons in them, you know, life lessons, cooperation, all that stuff. No wonder Gen X is different than the rest of them. I don't know. We are a breed apart. All right. Let's go ahead and go with the last one here and see what we get. Oscar Wilde, Grease.
The flapping of the sail against the mast, the ripple of the water on the side, the ripple of girls' laughter at the stern, the only sounds when can the west to burn, and a red sun upon the seas to ride. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last. The flapping of the sail against the mast, the ripple of the water on the side, the ripple of girls' laughter at the stern, the only sounds when can the west to burn, and a red sun upon the seas to ride. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last. From the steep prow I mark with quickening air, second throws every olive grove and creek, it thick as cliff, like in snowy peak, and all the flower-strewn hills of Arcady. The flapping of the sail against the mast, the ripple of the water on the side, the ripple of girls' laughter at the stern, the only sounds when can the west to burn, and a red sun upon the seas to ride. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last. upon the soil of Greece at last. The ripple of the water on the side, the ripple of girls' laughter at the stern, the only sounds when down west to burn, and a red sun upon the seas to ride. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last.
And that one cut us off. Another one for ex-girlfriend material. I had a few birthday parties growing up. Some of them were cool. Let's see here. Yeah, we grew up on a diet of hose water, Saturday morning cartoons, and parental indifference or neglect. Oh, Thunder the Barbarian was one of my faves. You know, it had the hot sorcerer chick, you know. Yeah. Thought I heard something. Yeah, and Looney Tunes. No wonder we're schizophrenic. No. Yes, and I had my share of posters of bands and hot women and crap like that. Just like any horny teenager who, you know, trying to figure out what to do when there was no one to do it with. Yeah. Like I've said before, we just need our time. The old people say it, but people need to just go retire and go off, you know. Although when we get that age, we'll probably be wanting to hold on to. All right, one more, and then we're going to play some more. Here we go.
The sea was sapphire colored, and the sky burned like a heated opal through the air. We hoisted sail, the wind was blowing fair, for the blue lands that to the eastward lie. From the steep prow I marked with quickening eyes, Zakynthos, every olive grove and creek, Ithaca's cliff, Lycaon's snowy peak, and all the flower-strewn hills of Arcady. The flapping of the sail against the mast, the ripple of the water on the side, the ripple of girls' laughter at the stern, the only sound when began the west to burn, and a red sun upon the seas to ride. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last. From the steep prow I marked with quickening eye, Zakynthos, every olive grove and creek, Ithaca's cliff, Lycaon's snowy peak, and all the flower-strewn hills of Arcady. The flapping of the sail against the mast, the ripple of the water on the side, the ripple of girls' laughter at the stern, the only sounds when began the west to burn, and a red sun upon the seas to ride. I stood upon the soil of Greece at last.
hate to say it, but I think a big part of the problem with body politic stems from not your part of the baby boomer generation, but the late baby boomers. I say it like my mom's part of it. Yeah. Let's see here. Well, Kathy, if you don't remember it, you had a great time. uh, I think, yeah, I had a couple good birthday parties growing up. You know, most of the time it's just another day. I'm a Pisces, you know. We got our own issues. Okay. Yeah, you know, I'm one of those at parties. I'm one of those guys in the corner, the observer. You know, sometimes thinking, how long is it going to be until I can leave? Nah, but sitting here, with you guys and stuff, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if we all ended up getting together in the same freaking location, it would be a grand old time. All right, let's play something here. Why not? I haven't heard this in a couple days. Yeah, I haven't heard this in a couple days. Let's take care of that. All right, where am I there? No, not that.
This plowman dead in battle slept out of doors many a frozen night and merrily answered staid drinkers, good bedmen and all bores at Mrs. Greenland's hawthorn bush. Said he, I slept, none knew which bush above the town. Beyond the drover, 100 spot the down. In Wiltshire and where now at last he sleeps, more sound in France that to his secret keeps. This plowman dead in battle slept out of doors many a frozen night and merrily answered staid drinkers, good bedmen and all bores at Mrs. Greenland's hawthorn bush. Said he, I slept, none knew which bush above the town. Beyond the drover, 100 spot the down. In Wiltshire and where now at last he sleeps, more sound in France that to his secret keeps. spot the down in Wiltshire, and where now at last he sleeps, more sound in France that to his secret keeps.
The linnet in the rocky dells, the moorlark in the air, the bee among the heather bells that hide my lady fair. The wild deer grows above her breast, the wild birds raise their brood, and they, her smiles of love caressed, have left her solitude. I ween that when the grave's dark wall did first her form retain, they thought their hearts could ne'er recall the light of joy again. They thought the tide of grief would flow unchecked through future years, but where is all their anguish now, and where are all their tears?
I hardly ever went clubbing. You know, usually didn't have the money to, go. And then again, no one to go with. I'm glad you like listening and to this stuff. Let's see here. What else do Oh, there. Oh. If you're still there, Hals, hi. All right, let me get a rain on my brain. I bet you can. See, I'm the type of person I'd rather dance. That's why I like being a drummer. I'm just kind of sad it never went anywhere. All right, we haven't heard this one in a while. The Jack Kerouac one. I think this one's heavy.
swift or driven. vapors onward, every blossom bathes its bright petals in the tears of heaven. Imperfect, half-seen objects meet the sight. The other half our fancy must portray. A one dull lengthened sheet of swimming light lies the broad lake. The moon conceals her ray, sketched faintly by a pale and lurid gleam. Shot through the glimmering clouds, the lovely planet is shrouded in obscurity. The scream of owl is silenced, and the rocks of granite rise tall and drearily, while damp and dank hang the thick willows on the reedy bank. Beneath the gurgling eddy slowly creep, blackened by foliage and the glutting wave that saps eternally the cold grey steep. Sounds heavily within the hollow cave. All earth is restless from his glossy wing. The heat fowl lifts his head at intervals. Like driving rainy come the bursting squalls. All nature wears her dun-dead covering. Tempest is gathered and the brooding storm spreads its black mantle over mountains form, and mingled with the rising roar is swelling from the far hunter's booth the bloodhounds yelling. The water falls in various cadence chiming, or in one loud unbroken sheet descending. Salute each other through the night's dark womb. The moaning pine trees to the wild blast bending are pictured faintly through the checkered gloom. The forest halfway up the mountain climbing resound with crash of falling branches. Oh, their ages mossy trunks. The snow leaps from a leafy land. The swelling river winds his broad stream, majestic, deep, and slow.
Yeah, one of the many emotions that goes through me, probably on a daily basis. You know how schizophrenic, well, no, I wouldn't say schizophrenic. That has its own connotations. Quicksilver. It can be at times. Yeah. And in some ways, I never grew up in some respects. I never developed, I don't even want to say grew up, I'm a grown up. I never, in some ways, never developed past the angry teenager. Never really got into it, although when I tried to watch it, you know how real creepy it can be at the beginning of it? This was 2017, and I was working on my ex-brother-in-law's property, staying out there at night, and it was very out in the middle of nowhere, very creepy. So, and I was kind of strung out too. So, yeah, I kind of creeped myself out. So I just never really got into it. So what do y'all think? I was just looking at my notebook here. The next redo and review is going to be interesting because I've got a lot to choose from. Just like I got a lot to choose from to play next. Let's change the mood a little bit and then get about on with our day. Because I got stuff to do, and I know you guys got stuff to do. What are y'all doing today? What y'all's plans? Like I said, there's a meeting of the writing club at 1:40, which I'm going to go to, and then I've got reading I got to do for tomorrow. So that's my plans. Oh yeah, I help my buddy too. So usual Tuesday for me. In the meantime, let's find a far-off farmyard flower somewhere, shall we?
Within this black hive tonight, there swarm a million bees. Bees passing in and out the moon, bees escaping out the moon, bees returning through the moon. Silver bees intently buzzing, silver honey dripping from the swarm of bees. Earth is a waxen cell of the world comb, and I a drone, lying on my back, lipping honey, getting drunk with that silver honey. Wish that I might fly out past the moon and curl forever in some far-off farmyard flower. Within this black hive tonight, there swarm a million bees. Bees passing in and out the moon, bees escaping out the moon, far-off farmyard flower.
Oh, yeah, we're going to play a few more, Joe. Don't worry. Here we go.
The robin laughed in the orange tree. Oh, windy north, a fig for thee. While breasts are red and wings are bold, and green trees wave us globes of gold. Time sighs shall reap with bliss for me.
Sunlight song and the orange tree.
Burn golden globes in leafy sky. My orange planet's crimson eye will shine and shoot among the spheres and thread the heavenly orange tree.
With orbits bright of minstrelsy.
If that I hate wild winter spy, the gibbet trees, the world in wide, the sky but gray, wind over gray. Why should I ache the season slay? I'll sing from the top of the orange tree. Gramercy, winter's tyranny. South with the sun and keep my climb. My wing is king of the summertime. My breast to the sun, his torch shall hold, and I'll call down through the green and gold. Time, take thy scythe, reap bliss for me. Bestir thee under the orange tree.
Oh, no. All right, let's play a few more while we. I still need to go grocery shopping. Well, here we go.
Apenic Sweeney spread his knees, letting his arms hang down to laugh. The zebra stripes along his jaw, swelling to maculate giraffe. The circles of the stormy moon slide westward toward the river plate. Death and the raven drift above, and Sweeney guards the horned gate. Gloomy Orion and the dog are veiled and hushed the shrunken seas. The person in the Spanish cape tries to sit on Sweeney's knees, slips and pulls the tablecloth, overturns a coffee cup, reorganized upon the floor. She yawns and draws a stocking up. The silent man in mocha brown brawls at the windowsill and gapes. The waiter brings in oranges, bananas, figs, and hothouse grapes. The silent vertebrate in brown contracts and concentrates, withdraws. Rachel Narabinovich tears at the grapes with myrrh's paws. She and the lady in the cape are suspect, thought to be in league. Therefore the man with heavy eyes declines the gambit, shows fatigue, leaves the room and reappears outside the window, leaning in. Branches of wisteria circumscribe a golden grin. The host with someone indistinct converses at the door apart. The nightingales are singing near the convent of the Sacred Heart. And sang within the bloody wood when Agamemnon cried aloud and let their liquid siftings fall to stain the stiff, dishonored shroud.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, I actually was surprised he's been around, because Paul Newman passed a while back, and yeah, but oh, yes, 89 is a decent age. I've always said 85, and then after that, everything's just gravy. So I got a 30-some years left to make my mark on the world. Promising. Sounds promising. I have to agree with Amy here. That or on the operating table under anesthesia. That way you don't know it. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's been too long. It's been too early in the morning. I can understand that though. Definitely not yet. I got much more I gotta do. Oh, it's not the Grim Reaper that I don't know, looking forward to, dreading seeing. I got a few I got a few middle fingers for some peoples. Now this is awesome. Hey, new kitchen and bath. Can't beat that with a stick. That's what I'm looking for. Hopefully by this time next year, you guys will know what I'll be replacing this place if things go right. With school and everything. It all depends on how I do in school, because cool. Yes, we help you get it. Cross your fingers. We got your back, Joe. Things looking up, looking up. Let's play a couple more, and then I'm going to sign off because I got stuff to do. Y'all guys got stuff to do too. So, close to 2 hours is a pretty good show. So I hope y'all have enjoyed it. And let's play this one because we haven't heard it in a while. And I know exactly the one I want to end on. It's kind of appropriate. Not this one more after this one.
After the sun's eclipse, the brighter angel and the spear which drew a bridal outcry from her open lips. She could not prove it true, nor think at first of any means to test by what she had been wedded or possessed. Not all cries were the same. There was an island in mythology called by the very vowels of her name, where vagrants of the sea, changed by a wand, were made to squeal and cry as heavy captives in a witch's sty. The proof came soon and plain. Visions were true, which quickened her to run God's barefoot errands in the rocks of Spain, beneath its beating sun, and lock the oath of ecstasy within. The tempered consonant of Disitan. Proof came soon and plain. Visions were true, which quickened her to run God's barefoot errands in the rocks of Spain, beneath its beating sun, and lock the oath of ecstasy within. The proof came soon and plain. Visions were true, which quickened her to run God's barefoot errands in the rocks of Spain, beneath its beating sun, and lock the oath of ecstasy within. The tempered consonant of discipline.
Again, you think us dudes are bad. Yeah, we definitely got our fingers crossed for you, Joe. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I guess your mom was probably a character, huh? Okay, cool there. Yeah. Yeah. And it just goes to show you, despite our differences, we're all just human. That's what a lot of people forget. Oh, Lord. All right, I'm playing one more. This is the last one. Okay, we're going to play out on this one. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Irish. Yeah. And she said it out loud. gotta maybe. I don't know. I don't remember if I took a shower last. Yeah, I took a shower before I went to bed last night. Oh no, you guys make my morning too. It's fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do this. You know, despite the fact, subscriber anxiety and all kinds of other shit. Yeah. All right. All right. Here we go. Remember, as you go about your day, have an awesome one. And always set your cage out there, because you never know. It's a bird. At least you gave it the old college. If it'll play.
Birds are singing round my window, tunes the sweetest ever heard. And I hang my cage there daily, but I never catch a bird. So with thoughts my brain is people, and they sing there all day long, but they will not fold their pinions in the little cage of song. Birds are singing round my window, just ever heard. And I hang my cage there daily, but I never catch a bird. So with thoughts my brain is people, and they sing there all day long, but they will not fold their pinions in the little cage of song. Ooh.
definitely gotta address a few things before I sign off here. Because what is it? I don't know. It would be either you guys would probably have me freaking beat red most of the time, but it would be fun. All right. Yeah. I don't know if the place can hold it. Yeah. Yeah. Take care, everyone. Oh, I found out about this study abroad things like 3 weeks, which I probably can't do. Through the history department, they're going to London and then Glasgow. Uh, Interesting. It'd be interesting if I could do it, but yeah, poor me. You guys would be having a whole hell of a lot of fun at my expense. Like that, though. It's done out of love. All right. Let's see if this works here. All right, my back was there. Okay, we are right at 2 hours. It's been great. Yeah, it been made me. I need to get my freaking new place with a fenced-in front yard. That way, someone could take care of my dogs the way I want them to. And then I'd probably do something like that. Although, oh, definitely. See, because that's on my bucket list. Definitely on my bucket list. You never know how things will go. We'll figure it out. All right, my friends. Like the ticker says, have a good day and all that jazz, and be sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow, either with the regular show or just an hour because classes. Oh, sure. We'll leave it at that. All right. I'll see y'all later. And yeah, got stuff to do. Lots of reading, meetings, life. See you tomorrow. It's always good.